Hey guys, I just wanted to introduce, this is Oliver, this is Luke, bless you. This is baby A and baby B, our 10.5-month-old twin boys, and the reason I started this channel was because they came into my life and I needed help and advice. Of course, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and go back and watch it. It's just the intro to my channel. But I'm happy to show them off, and you'll be seeing them in more future videos as well. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we just wanted to go through the schedule of our 10.5-month-old boys. I'm a stay-at-home mom, of course, and my husband works outside of the home, except special circumstances with quarantine, we get to have him home all day, but he is in the office. And so we try to keep our schedule separate as always, just to keep the boys on schedule and keep our life on schedule. We like having a kind of a strict schedule because we have twin boys, and so it's important for us to keep them on the same times for feedings, for naps, for bedtime at the end of the day, for baths, just everything that they do in their life, they do it together so that we can function and know exactly what to expect, and they can know what to expect, and they seem to love it, and it definitely helps us out. So hopefully this will help you. What we do is we do an 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Give or take a few minutes, but that's our goal time frame. It's 12 hours during the day, and then I will be doing an overnight routine later on, and that'll be the rest of the 12 hours for a 24-hour day. But the reason I'm not going to do that right now is because it's a video in itself. Right now the boys are pretty much sleeping through the night, 12 hours through the night, essentially 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning. They are in their cribs and not to be bothered. It wasn't always that way, and it's not perfect. That's not always the case, but essentially there's not much to do throughout the night anymore. So what I will be doing later is a video on how it was when they were newborns, because of course the nights were much more involved with multiple feedings, and just newborns need a lot more care and attention. All right, so now we have Oliver, and he's going to be helping me for just a minute. So what happens is my alarm goes off every morning at 7:40 a.m. and that is when I'm supposed to wake up and just get myself awake, start the coffee pot going, and then get the boys out of bed, diapers changed. They wear one diaper through the whole night unless they go number 2, but usually it's just really, really fluffy. That's what we call it when it's full of number 1. When they have lots of pee, we change that first thing in the morning when they wake up, and then I will get them dressed, but sometimes I like to have them in their pajamas just to cuddle, and so I don't really get them dressed right away. I'll do that kind of after their first morning nap, which I'll get to in a minute. So I just wake them up so that by 8 a.m. we're sitting on the couch and we're tandem breastfeeding. They do nurse at the same time. We've always done it that way. And if you have questions, of course, feel free to put those in the comments below. But after we feed them, they feed for only 5 to 10 minutes now. Sometimes they'll go up to maybe 15 minutes in the mornings because they've gone 12 hours without feeding, so they get pretty hungry. But after that, we'll just burp them and cuddle them. I have my clipboard here, and he's just trying to get it. So, and then after that, I'll set them on the floor, and they'll play with their toys, or maybe run around in their little cars, their little walkers that we have for them. They'll just entertain themselves while I go make breakfast. And so when breakfast is done, I'll either put them in their high chairs and feed them some as well. They're starting to have more solid foods like eggs and fruit, anything that's mashable. This one has 5 teeth already, on his way to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 teeth on his way to 6. So, and Luke only has 2, but they're getting better, and so we do like to start introducing them to more foods. Hey, sorry, so it's a new day. I just had a lot going on last night, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up the schedule today. So after the morning routine is finished, the boys have been fed, I've eaten, we've played for a little bit. They're pretty tired still from just being in the morning kind of grogginess, and so they do go back to bed for their first nap of the day. It's a 1-hour nap from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. And so during their naps is when I will get dressed, or I'll clean up the kitchen, clean up the dining room, make the bed, take a shower, tidy up their play area so that when they get up, it's a fresh start. Whatever chores I have, I'll read my word, spend time in worship. I'll just fill in my 1-hour time during that time. So at 11 o'clock or so, that's when we wake up the boys. and we'll check their diapers, we'll let them play for a little bit, we'll cuddle them because they're still a little tired, and at noon, 12 o'clock p.m., we will feed them their lunch. So I nurse again, tandem feeding. I'll burp them and everything, and then it's playtime again. They love when they've been freshly fed and they're well rested and they are just ready to play. So around 12:15 or so, that's when they'll be playing, and just like kind of in the morning with breakfast, now is the time that I will prepare my lunch. And so right now my husband is working from home, so I'll just be preparing a meal for both of us. And I keep looking up here because this is where my schedule is, so that's why I'm not giving you eye contact. So after lunch is prepared, then the boys will play while I eat, and I'll possibly sit them in their high chairs and give them solid foods, whether it's mashed up baby food, do steamed vegetables, soft fruits, things like that. We're trying to get them more hands-on with their food now that they're almost 11 months old, of course. And then they'll just kind of play and run around in their cars. I'll insert some clips throughout this whole thing as far as just them being themselves and being playful. But it's also during this time that I would love to get them outside if the weather allows us to get outside. This is kind of their longer stretch. This is the main part of their day where they're playful and awake, and I'm getting them ready for a 2-hour nap coming up. So I like to get them outside in the sun. It kind of drains them. They love the fresh air. They love all the sights. So we'll usually go on a walk for at least 20 minutes, if not 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how beautiful of a day it is. And they just love that. So we'll do that, and then we get back and we'll play a little bit. Maybe they'll have a snack, some little puffs or tea bean crackers or things like that. Around 2 o'clock, I'll go ahead and just check their diapers again and make sure everything is good for their nap. So they'll go down at 2 p.m. for a 2-hour nap, and hopefully, fingers crossed, not wake up until 4 o'clock p.m. And it's at 4 o'clock that they wake up again, check their diapers. They've been asleep for a few hours, and it's after a busy day, so they're just kind of letting everything go and run its course. So by the end of their nap, they usually will need a diaper change. I do check it before they go down, just in case, so that they can sleep longer and not be uncomfortable during the nap and then wake up halfway through because they need a diaper change. And then at that point at 4 p.m., I will go ahead and nurse and feed them. That's their dinner. They will get another feeding before they go to bed, but that's their dinner feeding. And then after that, around 4:30, they'll just play, and we'll hold them. Usually if my husband is working outside of the home, he'll be coming home within the half hour, and right now he's working from home, so he's home and we get to play, and it's great. We don't have to waste any time with traffic or anything like that. So around 5 o'clock is when I start to cook dinner if it hasn't been cooking already, and around 6 o'clock our family eats together at the dining table. So the boys do go in their high chairs, and we'll have some solid foods again for them while my husband and I eat our meal. And then after that, we just kind of hang out. Around 6:30 p.m. every day, every night, our boys get into a slump and they get real tired. Now that they're getting older, they don't necessarily need a nap at that time, but they used to need at least a half hour to an hour nap at 6:30, and they would wake up in time to eat. Now, they just like to be cuddled. They like to just relax. We usually will watch TV and hold them, or just play with them or read to them. It's getting calm and they're getting tired, so they've been up for a couple hours since their 2-hour nap at that point. So around 6:30 p.m., maybe 7 if we can push it, they're ready to just relax. They kind of get fussy and just want to be held. And then I'm actually doing our day in the life on bath night so that you can kind of know how we do that. So then at 7:15 p.m. we will start the bath process. We do have twins, and we wash them one baby at a time so that we can just focus on each baby. We tag team. We take them, into the kitchen while we fill up the tub. We get their little tub warm, and it's just on the kitchen counter. And we have all their toys ready. We have a bath sponge to make it comfortable and everything. We do put their newborn boppy on the floor with a towel ready so that when they're done with their bath, we'll just set them out on that. I do apologize if you can hear the AC unit. I've tried adjusting it, but it's kind of hot here in Texas, so it's constantly running. If all else fails, I'll do a voiceover and just X all this out, but I apologize about all the noise. Anyway, so 7:15, the bath process begins, and we'll just go through bathing each baby. We like to let them play a little bit, so it takes at least 15 minutes per baby. So around 7:45 or so, we'll be finishing up that process. We will put them into their nighttime diapers, which we love to use the Huggies brand. It just lasts all night long. That's really soft, like cloth almost. It's really comfortable, so that's what we use. Our nighttime diaper is the Huggies brand. And then we'll put them into their pajamas and cuddle them if they let us. And at 8 p.m. they're ready to eat their final meal for the day. So at 8 p.m., and this is the close of the day routine, they will go ahead and nurse. We'll burp them, we'll maybe read to them or pray with them, but usually right after they nurse, they're just tired and ready for bed. We set them in bed around 8:30 or so, depending, give or take, how long that process takes, maybe 8:20. And they come alive in the crib at night. For some reason, they could be falling asleep nursing at night, and as soon as we put them in the crib, they are awake. Oliver's standing, Luke is rolling around, they're playing with their crib toys, but I don't want to take the crib toys out of the crib. It's a good way for when they wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning to self-soothe and just kind of entertain themselves, also during their naps to kind of entertain themselves and to stretch that time another 15 minutes or so. They are supposed to stay in their cribs throughout the 12 hours of the night, the 1 hour nap in the morning and the 2 hour nap in the afternoon. They don't get picked up unless they need a diaper change or, you know, they're teething, and it's just, there are exceptions, but this is pretty much the rule book, is to keep them in their cribs. So we do have some toys and things like that that are safe for them to sleep with, and so they come alive at night and they play with those, and then eventually they're tired and over it, and so they'll take their binky or pacifier and put themselves to sleep, and that's when my husband and I get our time until around 11 p.m. That's usually when I'm ready for bed. Don't forget the 10 o'clock p.m. hour hits and I'm starving again. I am nursing twins, so I'm constantly hungry, and it seems like clockwork. Every night at 10 p.m. I'm ready for oatmeal and toast with butter. I don't know what it is, but that's what happens. So that's what we do. We'll usually watch a show together or whatever, play video games, read our word, fill our time however we see fit, and then at 11 o'clock usually I'm ready for bed. I also will usually finish my night off with a cup of ice cream, a bowl of ice cream, I guess you should say. I love ice cream, and that's just what I do. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking around for the day routine. I will be having an overnight routine coming up shortly, just because that's a completely different ball game. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, now they pretty much sleep through the night unless they're teething and they need some comforting or a midnight feeding, middle of the night feeding, but usually they don't need that anymore. So I'm going to think back on the newborn days, and I will come up with that overnight video. I didn't see them when I was looking for them when the boys were born. I needed help with what the overnight schedule looked like, what to expect, and so hopefully I can get that out for you shortly. And then I will also be glad to post about a bath time routine and also any nursing tips or tricks. So if you do have questions or any videos you want to see, please comment below. If you like this video, please do thumbs up. Of course, you know it supports my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and God bless. Oh my gosh, stop.